We are back in the booth. I'm Shawn Booth, and thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a while. We're excited to be here, and maybe you are in Slab City, California today. Maybe you're listening in Washington, D.C., or maybe you're out in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Thanks for having us on your radio waves this morning. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, and to my left, she is wearing flip-flops and a shirt that buttons down with matching shorts. It's a matching set. We've got SamCat on the set.
Oh, okay. That was a lot of alliteration for you.
Yeah, that kind of looks like a Charlie Sheen shirt, to be honest.
Okay, well, I will take that as a compliment. Matching sets are in. Like, matching sets are... The fact that you said matching set, even if they don't see me, women, at least, will be able to picture that in their head.
I think they're going to picture yoga pants and a sports bra. That's the only matching set that I know.
Well, that's because you work in a gym. Yeah, okay. Matching sets just imply that they match and they came together. That's it.
Okay.
Whatever variation of that, if you will.
All right. Well, we're back. We took a little vacation, a little hiatus. It feels good to be back in studio here. And SamCat, what have you been doing lately?
Honestly, I have been off the road the most I've been off the road since the fall of 2022.
All right.
I've enjoyed it. I've been doing a lot of house projects. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but it's pretty exciting. And it's really freaking cool to build things or to like see things come to life in something that you own and that I know that I can use for forever. And it's kind of relaxing to know that I'm not going to move out because my lease is ending and I have to I never feel like I really invested in apartments when I didn't own. Yeah. And now I feel like I really can. It's a cool feeling.
It's a good feeling.
Turning into an old woman for sure.
That's right.
And
getting
I
that
love
equity.
It. I love it. Yes. Equity, but also just I'm trying. I'm terrible. I feel like you're probably not good at this either, but do you have a green thumb?
You see these hands?
Shawn,
you know what I'm saying? These rough, manly hands?
Yeah. Okay.
I've got I'd grade my thumbs a C.
I want to be better and I am really trying to learn better. And I think that I've made a little bit of progress, but I am by no means good. And I want to have a garden. It doesn't have to be huge, just like a little garden. I want to have plants that are thriving, but I'm not good yet. I'm working on it. I follow the directions and I kill everything. So.
Did you say green thumb?
Yeah, green thumb.
Okay.
Yeah, green thumb.
Yeah, you're talking about planting.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking that we're talking about just being a handy thumb in general. Handyman.
No.
My green thumb is probably a D minus.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm a little better than you, but not by much. But I mean, handy, yeah, sure. I'm making that up as I go.
Right.
Being crafty, being creative. I love that. But the green thumb portion of making a house a home and having things that are alive in your home. Yeah, still working on that. I'll report back.
Every plant that I have in my house dies.
Same.
Instantly. I mean, well, I had a snake plant that lasted almost 3-4 years. It just died this past month. And those are the easiest ones to maintain.
Okay, I want to talk to whoever said that because I have had 2 snake plants now, and my second one is on its way out. They're like, oh, with your lifestyle, you should just get a snake plant. Yeah. You can almost just ignore it, and it will be fine.
You water it once a month.
Okay, I do. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I follow the directions. Right now, my snake plant, there's one vertical, the remainder are horizontal.
Yeah.
I've changed the windows. I've changed like the light exposure. I've watered it less. I've watered it more. I've done all of the TikTok tricks and trends. I can't keep anything alive. I'm working on it. But the snake plant and the succulents that everybody says, oh, it's so easy. No.
Yeah.
I have other plants that are thriving that are neither of those categories and they're doing better. So riddle me that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The snake plant is currently out on the porch. Try to revive it. And
Godspeed.
Might throw in some Viagra at the bottom of the soil. We'll see what happens. We're back.
Work. It works for me. It'll work for him.
Dad jokes. But I feel like as I get older, I should become handier, especially if I have a kid. So it's like my dad is the most handy man in the world where he literally flies down here to help me with projects. He flew down here, last week, but before that, a few months ago, just to do stuff around Megan's house.
Yeah.
And we talked about that, but it's like, at what age? I'm like still waiting to just all of a sudden know how to do everything.
Nope. There is a audio trend. I mean, it's not a trend anymore, but I like an audio from memes, GIFs, reels, whatever you're going to make with it, that talks about just like, if you're not rich, you don't have the luxury of not knowing how to be handy. Like if you have to repurpose all of your stuff that you already have because you can't afford a new coffee table, well, you got to start somewhere. Like you got to learn it. There's no magic pill. There's no age that all of a sudden you wake up and know how to do things. And I feel like I listened to that and it inspired me. I was like, you know what? Who cares? If I ruin this bedside table that I've had since college, well then okay. But I might as well try. And guess what? I fucking dominated it and it looks great.
Yeah, you did.
Restained it, did the whole 9, got new hardware on it. Looks beautiful in my living room right now. And I was proud.
Did you make a TikTok video of the process?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you should have.
Maybe next time.
Well, if you haven't heard, a lot's been going on in the past couple of weeks.
Which category?
I feel like right now we are in a front row seat to the greatest reality television show of all time. Like the last couple of weeks will go down in history.
Yes.
There will be books.
Yes.
There will be movies. And it all comes down to the 2024 presidential campaign and race.
What an interesting time. We are living in a full episode of Black Mirror.
A full episode. And we're not political. We're not a political podcast. We're not afraid to talk about anything. We're going to talk about it just to see what's happened here in the past 2 weeks, SamCat. 2 weeks ago, not even,
Okay.
President Trump attempted assassination
Correct.
within a millimeter of his life.
Correct.
Where we've seen the videos. If he didn't turn that way, he wouldn't be here right now. And I truly believe that the country would probably be in a civil war.
I was going to ask you, what do you think? Because, I mean, I don't want to let my imagination run too wild, but if the outcome wouldn't have been him surviving, what do you really think there would have been a civil war?
I think it would have been absolute chaos. I think every single gun store that following day would have been sold out. And I think work would be on pause. And I heard a political expert say that that bullet missing him saved America for like the next 40 or 60 years, something crazy like that. The outrage of what would have happened would have been astronomical.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree with him. I don't know why 40 to 60 years was the exact numbers he gave, but that was a little, once I really started to think about what could have happened, I had to kind of check out for a bit because it was terrifying. And okay, to go back to being handy and to having a garden and all this stuff, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I need to be able to provide for myself. And like, what if, I mean, I know I'm going way far, but like if something like that could have happened, would have been chaos. You would have been locked down. It would have been maybe some version of another pandemic. What about food? What about heat? What about this? Like I didn't have any of these things. And it's like, I don't want to be a doomsday prepper, but at the same time, do I really want to be caught out in the middle of the worst storm of my entire existence with nothing?
Right.
Like that would be on me.
Yeah. And we don't know what would have happened, but I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't have gone back to normal Monday morning to work. I think we can all agree on that.
It's a terrifying thing to really think about.
Terrifying. That close. And then we could talk about that whole thing for the entire episode. There's obviously, like, let's put on our tinfoil hats, the conspiracies with that. How the hell do you let that kid who looks like he's been in his basement playing Dungeons and Dragons his whole life, 130 yards within the most powerful man in the world to get off a shot? It's insane. We now have videos that he was identified as being sketchy an hour before. He was identified as a threat 10 minutes before. They still let him out on stage. And the sniper apparently had him in his range, like all that stuff. I think he had a little help. And I also think that we are never going to know the truth. It's going to be like JFK. We'll never find out what actually happened.
I agree. I think that we are so good at, well, humans in general, I feel like are so good at believing what they want to believe that it almost doesn't even matter what the facts are because it's the way it's painted. So we could look at the same situation and see and read all the same facts, but our interpretation of, oh, well, he didn't really mean that. Oh, there's no way they would let him do that because I like intrinsically believe that they would never let that happen. I'm not saying that I do, and I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying that like the human, this also feels beyond a reality show, but isn't a reality show also just a psychological experiment?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like so much emotion and life experience and whatever they've been brought up and what they're subjected to, what they consume, who they follow, if they've even looked at any of the evidence or looked at any of these facts that you've listed, all play into like the entirety of this election campaign.
Right.
And that is, I feel like, why we're so divided. There's so much emotion and just not a lot of facts being looked at, a lot of facts being interpreted.
Yeah.
If that even makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Am I making sense? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's strange to see the exact same thing as someone else next to me, and they're just like, oh, well, obviously it's this, this, and this. Where I think almost the exact opposite in my gut instinct. And I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could be right. And I just never thought of it that way. And I just feel like this whole election process has been an experiment.
Right. Yeah.
in that.
Yeah. And then people who are like, it was staged. I'm like, how do you actually believe that it was staged? The best sniper in the history of the universe could not have made that shot and guaranteed that it would just clip his ear. All right.
His ear. Just his tiniest piece of your body.
And oh yeah, by the way, we're just going to have innocent civilians killed in the process, which is the worst part about all of it, right? So for anybody to argue that it's staged, I'm like, you need to just take a step back and maybe look at the whole thing. I know there's a lot of sketchy things going on, but that seems like it's impossible to do. Like maybe if I was standing this close to you with a gun, I could clip your ear.
Yeah, let's not try that. We're good.
But we're not going to try it.
No.
But I mean, there's videos of bullets going everywhere, and now you got theories of a second shooter, and I mean, it's just a whole mess. But again, we'll never know. And America was literally saved by a millimeter.
Okay, so then after that, what happened?
So then
that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
It's old news by now.
Yeah. After that, we then have the RNC.
Hell yeah, brother.
And we have Hulk Hogan, which I was going to say. You got Hulk Hogan on stage ripping his shirt off. And America's going wild. I'm like, what is going on right now?
It's a reality show.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
We're in a Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I did not watch the RNC. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I did, but obviously I saw the clips that everybody saw on social media between Hulk Hogan and then also Amber Rose.
Amber Rose did great.
Okay.
She did fantastic.
What a surprise guest, though. Yeah. Someone who's in the past been like violently opposed to anything, even Republican, not even Trump. I guess it just goes, I don't know, maybe that was just in the script of this reality show they're writing for us. I have no idea.
Amber Rose.
I was very surprised. I wasn't as surprised to see Hulk. I mean, that seems pretty on brand.
Yeah. No.
And Amber then who else did you list? Oh, Dana White.
Yeah, who was like screaming into the mic. He was fired up. He was fired up there.
He's Dana White. So that one didn't surprise me, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm like, that I was also just thinking about the people in this country that have been wearing ear bandages for the last 2 weeks. Those are my favorite.
That's crazy. Yeah.
The extras that they've paid to say it is
wild.
I mean, I think it's funny. I think it's cute. I'm like, okay, guys, you do you. If that makes them feel better, then sure.
Yeah.
You know, like, what are they hurting? You're wearing a bandage on your ear? Go ahead, Carol. You wear that bandage.
And everybody been like, oh, it's fake. He doesn't need a bandage. That's outrageous. I'm like, how about we just the guy just got shot in the head.
But also, can you imagine if you got shot in the ear and then you were wearing a bandage and then people in town were just like, yeah, did you hear Sean Booth got shot? He's wearing a bandage. What a pussy.
That's what I mean.
The dude got shot. He can't win.
It was Trump. It was only because it was Trump. It was like he just got shot in the head a few days ago. And now you guys are
mad at him for wearing a bandage.
And mad at him for talking too long when he should have been dead. And it's just like, man,
you can't win.
Talk about the thickest skin.
Oh my.
He's got to have the thickest skin in the world.
I don't know how he does it. Well, and not only him, but his family, his children, his think about, I mean, yeah, you have a close relationship with your dad. I have a close relationship with my dad, but there's plenty of people in the world who do not. And it's just like, imagine having to take the heat of everything because of what your dad does.
Yeah. I know.
And you know what? Maybe they agree with everything he says and they also have thick skin. I don't know them.
Right.
But I am not envious of them. That's a tough place. And it's not like Trump is a very incognito last name. Like you could slide in and nobody would notice.
Right.
Literally internationally now.
Yeah. And I think that's why it was such a huge deal for him, because he has been obviously criticized more than anybody on the planet for 8 years, right? He has been coined Hitler. And like one of the first things I thought of when he got shot, I'm like, this is because of the media.
Yeah.
This is because of the media and the attacks that they've had on him for years and years, that it's come down to this, where he almost got shot in the head. Where I think a lot of people who are rational were able to take a step back and they were just like their heart, I mean, Democrats, Republicans, your heart sinks when you hear, holy shit, Trump just got shot. Like, I think people were able to step back and be like, oh, he's human. Yeah. And also, by the way, the dude has been through hell and back and he's still there. Like, that's where I think he got a ton of support after that, because people were able, just for a minute, even if you're a Democrat, most of them were like, holy shit, like that, okay, we crossed the line.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I have a lot of, I saw the aftermath on social media of it kind of being a mixed bag, though. There were so many people that were like, oh, sorry, I don't feel bad for this man that's incited violence. And now all of a sudden he's reaping what he sowed. It's just like a lot of very disconnected, like very not human, like how you're saying.
Weird.
That is tough for me to look at. Like I said, I feel like I start doom scrolling and then I have to just like kind of check out for a bit. But the thing that killed me were people who had no remorse for the person who was there at the rally, and they were like, oh, sorry, I don't care that someone caught a stray bullet who was supporting this man. And I'm like, that's tough for me to listen to. I'm like, that dude also passed away covering his wife and child to stay safe. Like, talk about a protector and someone who is obviously a prominent part in that family household that is now forever altered. And you go on the internet, you keyboard warrior, and just be like, oh, well, sorry, I don't feel bad for this guy. It's like, okay, well, what about his daughter that now no longer has a father?
Right. And a firefighter. So that
Someone
guy, if your house was burning down, you wouldn't want him showing up to protect you, because he would protect you in a second, and he wouldn't think about if you're a Democrat or Republican.
Or at least you would hope not. I mean, we don't know the guy, but I'm saying chances are he'd show up and do his job for you.
And his daughter and his wife had to sit there and watch while it took like 10 minutes, obviously all the chaos going on. He just got shot in the head. He's laying there in the bleachers. You have some guy who's trying to administer CPR, and the daughter and the wife are just sitting there in complete shock.
What do you do? I don't want to know. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm starting to feel weird.
Yeah. Awful. So,
it is awful.
It's awful. So that happens.
But
we got the RNC.
Wait. Hold on. I got to go back one more thing, because you said like the humanization of like, wow, this guy got shot, made him have all of this rushing in support. And I agree, but I'd like to take it one step further, because I think the real hook, line, sinker was when Trump stood up, bleeding, put his arm up in the air, American flag in the back, Social Security on him. Like, even Mark Zuckerberg said, damn.
Yeah.
That's a badass photo. Yeah. And I'm like, that was historic. I mean, I know that sounds so dumb to say like that was historic, but like that will be in history books for the remainder of, well, if we have any Earth left.
Probably the most popular photo of all time when it's all said and done. I can't think of another photo. I mean, historically, if you're talking about top 5 photos, you would obviously have like the Twin Towers going down, getting hit by a plane.
George Washington on the boat.
Is that a real photo? Is that a drawing?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's a drawing, but I'm saying that it's like, that was all over history books when we were growing up.
Right. What's another photo? Can we think of one?
Please don't quiz me now in public.
The Berlin Wall, maybe. JFK. But anyways, we all can agree that would be one of the most famous photos of all time.
But I think that also got him a lot of support.
100%.
Truly just the photo. But it's not just the photo. It's the fact that the dude just got shot, stood up, and was still like, let's fucking ride.
Immediately.
And people were like,
wait, give me my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Give me my shoes.
That was the funny part.
Wait, what? I don't know.
Hear him?
No.
You can hear the whole conversation, not the whole conversation.
I haven't seen
when
it.
He's like getting up, like, come on, let's go. He's like, wait, let me get my shoes. Give me my shoes. And then he's like telling Secret Service to stop.
Yeah, like, because they were like trying to get him the hell out of there. He's like, wait, let me get my shoes. And then he's like, well, no, wait. And like parts him over and moves him over. And he's like,
okay, well, you know what? Say what you want about the guy, but he's always going to be himself. That's a very Trump follow-up.
He can't help himself. The promo machine thing he does. He cannot help himself.
Oh, he knew in that moment. That was a fantastic advertisement.
He capitalized.
He probably told the photographer, like, hey, come over here.
I thought he was saying, fuck yeah. Like, I thought,
so did I.
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
I did think he said fuck yeah, but he really said fight.
Yeah.
But
or if he was like, fuck you, fuck you.
That would have been even
cool. That would have been crazier. Yeah, it would have been awesome.
I mean, at this point, the reality show is getting super deep. Why not just add in some curse words on stage?
Yeah, I think he knew in that moment for sure.
Because I was like, that's like you knew where you were. Because like I was born
Yeah.
after 9/11, so like I wasn't alive for that.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
What?
Feel
Yeah, I was born in
old. Thanks
2002.
for that.
Yeah, but like I will always remember where I was.
Yeah, in
when
your
I- when
mother's
that-
womb. What?
No, I'm not talking about 9/11. I'm talking about this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a text from a buddy, Dusty McNabb. He's like, Trump just got shot. I was like,
I
shut
thought
the
it was a
fuck up.
joke. I know that sounds terrible, but I thought it was a joke. Or I thought someone was just.
That's what I mean. That's what I thought. I thought it was like some conspiracy bullshit on Twitter or something.
Yes.
Because I was at the pool drinking, so I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And then me and my friend were going back up to my apartment to play Xbox. We were going to play Madden. And my dad called me. He's like, "Yo, they just shot Trump in the head." And I was like, "Dad, like, get off Twitter. Stop." He's like, "No, turn on the news." And I turned on the news, and I was like,
What
I had
a
to sit there silent
different
for 30 minutes.
Saturday for him. He was at the pool going to play Xbox. I was literally in Lox's nursery room changing a diaper. I feel old. Damn, those are the days.
You were probably drunk at the pool when 9/11 happened, though. So
I was in high
but different.
school. Yeah.
So
I was drunk in Myrtle Beach when they captured Saddam.
Osama. Oh,
No, was it Osama?
They didn't
Recently?
capture
No.
him. They just killed him.
Yeah, no, Saddam
Okay.
Hussein. No, Osama bin Laden.
Okay,
When they shot
okay,
him.
okay,
Yeah.
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 alcohol, Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
It's blurry. For
It
me.
was literally on all the bars, and it was like
Yeah.
at night when he came out and announced it.
Yeah.
They started like playing "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus. It was. I remember that.
There are a few songs
Like,
that I
that
feel
was
like
pretty
really
wild.
unite the country,
Yeah,
and "Party in the USA"
that's
Miley
number
Cyrus
one.
is one of them.
Yeah, we were at the bar. We were at Neighbors down the street, and every TV in the bar was all Fox News, of course.
Yeah.
And they was all watching that. And I've never been in a restaurant as packed as that one was, that it was as quiet as that one was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
the
wow.
waitresses were like whispering.
That's crazy.
It was the weirdest thing.
Well, it's a monumental moment,
Yeah,
and
it was wild.
Yeah. Well, he survived. America survived. And he was a
still
little
too
more
big.
humanized. And even at the RNC, when they're showing, like, obviously, it is, it's political theater. You have the granddaughters, and they're
Yeah.
sitting on his lap and all that. And everybody's like,
oh well, yeah,
But
it's a publicity statement.
exactly.
as well.
But
Yeah.
you're also like, yes, he is somebody's grandpa.
I know.
He is somebody's dad.
Yep.
And he almost just got killed.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think we are so desensitized to just, I mean, even just the comments that people make about him, like you're saying, like the thickest skin ever. Just imagine if someone said the things they say to him to you. I would not recover if you said that to my face.
yeah.
Like,
he don't care.
no, I know. And he's the perfect man for the job then because,
Yeah, exactly.
like, Godspeed.
Yeah.
There's not many people that could withstand the turmoil and the constant negativity and just
Yeah.
good for him.
And one thing I felt like after he got shot and that photo's going around and everybody's showing support, I felt like it was gave the green light for a lot of closet Trump fans to come out. Like, because then you start seeing it everywhere on
Everyone
social
posted
media.
it. I was like,
Everybody's posting it. And like, that was kind of like, oh shit, people aren't afraid now to express what they believe in or who they're rooting for because a guy almost died.
So hold on. I also have a question for you. And this is just your opinion because I don't think you can ever actually have a fact about it. But I think everybody kind of, if you are predominantly liberal, no problem talking about your political beliefs and everything that you align with. But if you are
Yeah.
more conservative, why is it that they're afraid to talk about it?
Because the extreme left side are so cancel culture. So if it's, and the funniest thing is, it's like the Democratic Party is supposed to be the most inclusive party, the
Sure.
party of democracy.
Yeah.
And we accept and invite everybody, unless you think, if you don't think like us, and then we are going to burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, a further discussion, I think the Democrats, the extreme left, I got plenty of friends who are Democrats. I got family members who are Democrats. I'm from Connecticut. All right. I feel like the extreme left, they're the ones that are going to lose this election because of how crazy they've been the past 4 years. And I feel like it's an awakening now. I feel like people aren't afraid to talk about their support for Trump now. I feel like everything that's going on, and even Democrats, I mean, you just sat here before the show, we said we know a lot of liberal people who are like, yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay. Like, it's getting so outrageous and it went so extreme left that now it's swinging back.
I love asking people about not necessarily what they align with, but why. And some people take that as a, what do you mean? Why? Obviously, because da da da. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't trying to attack you. But when I ask conservative people that, it's always like a guarded response. It doesn't even, I don't even mean on social media. I mean, just in life. Like my conservative friends almost have a harder time not articulating why they believe something. Don't get that mixed up. They know why they believe something, but saying it out loud in public, in mixed company.
Because they've been made to feel bad.
Sure. Yeah. And I agree with you. I mean, I think
the media.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so bad.
Yeah. It's tough, but it's been an interesting, my own personal experiment that I've had, just asking people, because also, not for nothing, but I'm still learning. So what if you see something differently, like I was saying earlier, so different that I'm like, oh, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
And it could change my mind on whatever we're talking about. I hate that if you ask the question, why? Like, oh, do you support whatever is on this political ballot? Sure. Why? All of a sudden, that's like, I'm attacking you. What do you mean, why? And it's like, dude, whoa. I just was wondering why. Because if you feel this way, and here, the other thing is, if you're like, the only reason I want to vote for Joe Biden or someone on the left is because of how much I hate Trump, that's also a valid answer. It's your own choice. So if you want to say that, just say it. But they won't say that.
No.
So
exactly.
It's just been, I've tried to be, I mean, I would consider myself very in the middle. I always have been. I see and try and absorb and learn from both sides and everything, but I just feel like it's become harder and harder to even be in the middle. Then all of a sudden it's like, you don't stand for anything. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Now I stand for nothing?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can't keep up with this. So it's, I don't know.
Wild.
Next, what happened after the RNC? Moving on.
Crazy time. It's crazy. Yeah. So then, in this reality show,
yes,
episode 3.
Episode 3, yes, okay.
Episode 3, you have Joe Biden,
yes,
who's had who got the most votes in the history of any election, the man of the people, and all of a sudden, the higher up people literally bring him out back and put him down behind the shed.
Oh my God, Shawn.
Like, I mean, right in front of our face.
Listen, you might be wearing a tinfoil hat, but you also might not be. And I think, also will never know.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he's dead, but also there's reports that he actually might be dead because we haven't seen him in a week. But he went from being the most popular president, right? He got the most votes in the last election. And again, the party of democracy. And then a handful of people took the vote, the president that everybody voted for, and said, yeah, you're not running anymore. And we're going to handpick who is running. Which I think if you are from either side, that's kind of messed up. Trying to argue that it's not. What's the argument that that's not messed up?
I mean, everybody has said, well, from what I've read on the internet, is that they saved democracy. That's been the tagline that I've seen been running around.
And the whole reason that everybody was hating on Trump, and one of the reasons why he almost got killed, was because Biden and all the Democrats were saying that he was ruining democracy.
Oh, no. A threat to democracy.
Let's put a target on him.
All over the place.
And then
they shot him and they were like, whoa. We didn't mean that much of a threat. And it's like, all right.
But
what?
Speaking of that democracy thing, never mind that. We're going to just do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like now, and this is why it's just so crazy. I feel like, I don't know how to correlate it to something, but I'm thinking in my head, like you're watching something happen. Maybe it's like The Dumbest Criminals, or you see like somebody recording a video and they don't know that you're watching.
Yes.
Right? Like somebody's in the parking lot just recording, and whoever's doing whatever they're doing, they don't know. I feel like that's at least how I feel right now, where most of Americans, we're just sitting back and it's like, we know everything you're doing right now.
Sure.
We know what's going on. Like for years, you guys have lied to us trying to say that Joe Biden he's fit and he's mentally sharp. And anytime that anybody would question that, you would get so much hate. You would hear that, those videos were fake.
Well, Trump is only 3 years younger than him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
okay, the dude can't talk. I don't know. It doesn't matter how old he
Yeah.
is. And I do think that the biggest exposure that kind of got this ball rolling, which I could be incorrect, but this is my opinion. Don't come for me. The debate.
Yeah, of course.
Because all of a sudden everybody was like, oh my gosh.
And that was a setup. Let me put my tinfoil hat back on.
Okay. Wait, set up for what? To start this whole ball rolling,
Yes,
you mean?
they knew how bad he was. They knew he wasn't going to do well. They put him on stage, and now after he's on stage for a couple hours, the same people who were defending him for years are the same people in the media saying he needs to go. He needs to go. See, he needs to go. Now all Americans can say that, and they can all support him leaving.
Yeah, that was also the earliest debate ever, like the earliest before the election that's ever happened. And his team is the one that wanted it.
Interesting.
Because they came to CNN or whoever hosted it and gave a bunch of crazy rules that they didn't think Trump would say yes to. So they could be like, we tried to debate him, but he said no, like mute the mic and all this other, like no crowd. And in true
Trump fashion, he was like, hold my beer, I'll be there. Yeah. I don't know why he has a Southern accent now, but okay.
Crazy.
Okay.
So I think that was a setup. I don't know.
I didn't know about the timeline.
Yeah, that's the earliest it's ever been.
Okay.
Right.
I try and be educated so I don't sound like an idiot and I can form my own opinions, but it is so draining to me that I also try to not be just doom scrolling all the time.
Yeah.
And I want to be an educated American. I hate when people are like, oh, just stick to, running your business, doing your podcast, Shawn. Oh, just stick to modeling, or whoever's voicing their opinion about politics, because that is silly to me. Politics affect all of us, grand sweepingly. And it doesn't matter where you stand. If you live in this country, it affects you. So why are you telling people who have a public platform, just stick to what you do? Yeah. It's like, oh, what do? I'm a human, so I'm going to stick to being a human. So go fuck yourself. Yeah. If I believe that the sky is purple, I can say that because that's what I believe. And that's why we live in this country.
You also pay taxes.
And it's like, my business is dependent on how the economy runs.
Correct.
Like all of this.
Which is your livelihood, which then directly affects your family, which then affects your son, which affects your mental health. Which it's like the whole thing, just stick to Dave Portnoy, love him or hate him. He's outspoken and opinionated, and he's not afraid to say whatever the fuck he thinks. And, he started a video that was just like, all these people keep telling me to stick to pizza reviews. He's like, no, fuck you. And then I can't help but agree with that.
Yeah.
Because by no means am I ever going to be as famous as Dave Portnoy. Hopefully that sounds like a nightmare, but he's right.
Yeah.
And he's a businessman. He has a very large.
Well, I was thinking this yesterday because I love Portnoy. I've always been a fan since he started Barstool back in New England when I was a young pup back in college. But I'm like, it's probably easier for him to express these opinions and talk now that he's got hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank.
100%.
Right? Like if it was before Barstool got those big deals, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Absolutely.
Now that he's, mid-40s, is he almost 50 years old?
He's probably older than that. I'll look it up.
No, he's not older than 50.
It's insane.
You child born in
got
2001.
46, I bet. 46, 47?
47.
47. He's 3 years from 50. So it's like he's got all the money in the world. He's set. His family's set. And and I love his
He
rants.
ended the video that I'm talking about with, if you can prove me wrong, I will buy you a yacht, and I'll be your captain. And I'm like, that's such a flex. That's such a douchebag thing to say. But also, I get it. I agree with it. I'm like, I love him or hate him. It doesn't even have to be Dave Portnoy. If someone has an opinion and something to back it up and the reasons why, and they're passionate about it, like, I respect it.
Yeah.
Even if I disagree with them.
Yeah.
I just love people who have a backbone and stick with it instead of just saying
what
what appeals to the masses or what makes them look good and gets them out of cancel culture and all that shit. Like, no. I love when people come back and they're like, you need to apologize because you said XYZ, and they come out and they say, yeah, I said it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's it. No apology. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what they meant. At least I know where they stand now, so I can make an educated decision to either support them or not.
Right.
But when it's like wish-washy and we're just doing whatever the script says, how am I supposed to make an educated decision for myself, for my business, for my family, for my son, for all the stuff that you're talking about? Like, go fuck yourself. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say, I don't like Joe Biden. I've never voted for him, but I do feel bad for the human Joe Biden through all this.
Yeah, of course.
Because he dedicated whatever side, doesn't matter, his whole life to politics, which
50 plus
isn't
years.
the funnest job. Mm-hmm. Finally got the job he wanted, probably later than he would have wanted, probably didn't enjoy it at all. Mm-hmm. And then...
Well, and I feel...
And everyone kept telling you, you're going to do it again, you're going to do it again. And then the moment you fuck up, everyone turned their back on you and said, "Nah, get out of here. Get out of here.
That's
Get out of here."
politics at its finest.
And they paraded him around and made him look so like when you go back 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you go look back and you think of Joe Biden, you're going to think of him.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ruined his whole
The human
legacy.
Roomba.
And the moment shit hit the fan, everyone was like,
See ya.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Well, and
Yeah,
it sucks
that
that,
sucks.
like you were saying, he has had an insanely long career in politics, and like right at the end got tarnished.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. That's tough.
Because he obviously doesn't understand or grasp everything that's going on. So it's so sad to watch. And for sure, the human in him, I'm like, I feel really bad for that guy. Where's his family? And that's why everybody's like, Jill Biden wants to be the president.
Did you
Like,
see her
why don't-
reaction after the debate?
Oh,
There is
yeah,
a
she's like,
clip of her.
"Joe
She's like,
did
Joe
really
did
good."
really good.
And
You knew
answered
every question.
I
I'm like,
know.
what is he, 4?
I know.
That's the way I talk to Locks.
Yeah.
That's the way I talk to your son, a literal baby.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? Stop, Jill.
Yeah.
Like, and it could have been a congratulatory, like, I'm so proud of you as your wife. Like, you did great. Why was she screaming into the microphone like it was the youth jamboree like what?
Joe, you answered every question.
Which is the point of a debate, Jill.
Yes.
He's the literal
The
president
most
of the United
powerful
States.
person in the entire world.
God,
That's
I'm sweating.
crazy. Yeah. So you feel terrible for him
Oh, Jill.
because he doesn't want to do this right now. I
don't
mean,
know.
the guy's on his
All
almost.
I hope right now is that Joe Biden is somewhere shirtless with his pants undone with whatever scotch he enjoys, just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, let him chill. Let him enjoy whatever time he has left, which apparently tinfoil people are saying that's 0 because it's already gone. Just like, let the dude chill.
Yes.
Just
Oh,
let
for
him chill
sure.
out. I don't know.
For sure.
The memes about it have been pretty hilarious.
The internet is still undefeated.
It's- yeah,
I
it's-
have to say.
There's like memes that like Joe Biden's going to be devastated when he hears about this.
Yes.
And, like, yeah. It's just-
Yeah.
They're like, does Joe know?
Even
Or-
Trump is like, hey, guess what? Today's a new day. Joe doesn't remember saying that yesterday, so he's still in the race. Like, Trump is making ridiculous
Oh,
comments about
Trump.
it.
That man.
So, yeah, that's episode 4. Joe Biden put down behind the shed by his own people. Literally just said, and then we're going
And
to
you're
take Kamala.
It's just so convoluted, and I feel like it's so chaotic now that you don't know what to believe. That I just feel like both sides are just being robbed of what a presidential election is supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many episodes here in this reality show that it's hard to focus on the facts
Yeah.
and the plans and the future and all that stuff, or at least for me.
A lot of people say Barack Obama is still running the country.
I've seen those memes too, but it just feels like defeating for me. It's like, what's the point of me even trying if I
that's
don't
what's-
feel like anything is authentic anyway?
Well, that's what I think the main issue comes down to. No matter who's running this or whatever, it just feels like the American people are just kind of getting the runaround.
Yeah.
From the very top. And it's like we're all catching on. And it just seems icky. It doesn't seem right.
And it's confusing.
And it's confusing.
And it is confusing. And it's just, I mean, like I said, I want to be an educated voter and I want to have my own thoughts and opinions, but it's tough to weed through all of the extracurriculars right now.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Godspeed to us and our country.
You guys are older than me.
Thank
Obviously.
you. We know.
But like the only election before, like I remember this one, the last one, the Hillary Trump. Then the only election before that I remember was, I think it was like McCain and Obama.
Yeah.
And that one to me wasn't as
None of them were.
like,
I
when did it flip from like being
Trump
like
and
everyone
Hillary.
could have cordial conversations
Trump
that
and
wasn't like
Hillary.
this?
Trump and
Was that what?
Yes.
It was over.
2016.
I was
Yes.
literally counting down the days for those debates for pure entertainment. Like setting the TV up and those
Yeah.
two debating was outrageous
There's
and
a clip.
hilarious.
There's a clip going around from the presidential debate of 2012
Yeah, they're
between Mitt
comparing
Romney and Obama, and it's just like the most cordial.
Yeah.
Mitt congratulates Obama on his wedding anniversary. Like, thanks for spending your night with me. I know this is
Yeah.
exactly where you want to be. Just like super cordial, super
course.
like conversational, respectful.
And guys in their mid 40s,
Oh my
50s.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Youth. We forgot about that as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, that's long gone. But I would say it's 2016 is when everything.
But like culturally though, like even back then, like you could
Trump
have
changed
like,
everything.
but yeah, but before that, like people didn't disagree as harshly as I
Yeah.
mean, there was still
Right.
like way left, way right, but it was
Yeah.
still like it wasn't people were getting shot over who they're voting for.
You could say if you were Republican or Democrat.
without judgment.
Like
feel
I remember being in school real young when it was Clinton and who did Clinton go against? No, who did Bush go against?
I was a child doing gymnastics, not paying attention to
No,
anything.
it was Clinton and Gore.
Clinton Gore ticket defeated Republican incumbent H.W.
Clinton
Bush.
and Gore. What? Gore was the VP, right?
Yeah.
And who did they go against?
George Bush and Vice President Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, isn't he the one who shot or got shot or something on like a hunting trip?
That was in 1992.
Are you talking about quail hunting?
No, didn't Al Gore shoot someone or something like that? I don't know.
Al Gore did not shoot anybody.
Somebody shot someone on a hunting trip.
Yes. Okay.
In the 90s or
No,
like
yeah.
at least in the
You're
early
talking about-
2000s. Something very vague in my memory.
Who's that old guy?
And it was a vice president, wasn't it?
It was. You're right.
See?
Wasn't Al
Talking about
Gore.
quail hunting booth.
That was in 1992.
Anyways, what was your story about remembering when you were really young in school?
As a kid, I
Dick
remember
Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Yes.
In 06.
Yeah. I remember being in school as a kid and they'd have like posters and you get to color them in. It was like a elephant for Republicans or a donkey, right, for Democrats. And
Yeah.
like we'd all like kind of just color them in. And it was during the election and people were saying who they liked and obviously not having any clue about politics. But
Sure.
it was way more respectful.
Yeah.
Until Trump came in.
Well, yeah, that guy. He has done quite a remix. I do feel like I wish there was almost along the same lines where you're just like coloring and you're learning the facts of both sides. There are quizzes out there that you can answer questions. Like they'll ask you political based questions and then you can respond how you think. And at the end, it
shows
tells
you
you
what you
who
are.
you should vote
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Which, you know what? That's a place to start if you feel super inundated with
There should be a
information.
quiz.
And it's like not a nameless, faceless opponent, no names or any political party affiliation. And it's just like, here are the facts. What do you think about this? Would you want it to be this way or this way? And I think that is what should be at the ballot.
I was going to say,
think you should answer
you
it, and
just
then
solved
whoever-
the world's problem, SamCat. I
Yeah.
think you walk up to the machine
And you take a test.
quiz.
You take a full blown test, and you can study for it as much or as little as you want. But based off the way you answer your question, whoever fits that candidacy bill is the next whoever.
Yeah, it votes for you. It goes,
Votes for you.
just voted
For Joe Biden, you just voted for
Yeah.
Sean Booth, like whatever it may be. I feel like it would take a lot of the riffraff out of it, and it would kind of pull the power that media and all of this shit has over us.
Yeah.
Because that's truly, I mean, I know I keep repeating myself, but like, it's all I want. I want to not be confused.
Right.
I want to know, and I want to make an educated decision for myself, for my future, for the future of the country, for my invisible children that I don't have. And I just feel
your eggs that
for
are
my
freezing
eggs that
right
are
now.
freezing. They're just sitting there chilling, waiting to be part of this world. And it's like, I just wish there was an easier way to get through the riffraff. And
Yeah.
it feels defeating at this point that it's just never going to happen.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. It's going to be a wild few months here. But
Oh my gosh.
Do you
And
think
it's only
do you think
July.
it'll ever go back? Like even
Yes.
like if Trump wins again and he's done, he can't go again. Do you think it'll ever go back to how it used to be, or you think now
Yes.
it's over? Now it's we're going on this path and this is what it's going to be.
I don't think
No.
it'll be anytime soon, but I think yes.
I think it'll kind of swing back. It's a little more, I don't know. Depends. See what happens. Like you said.
Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy? You should watch it because it used to be funny and it's getting wildly close. Have you seen Idiocracy?
No.
That's your homework.
Okay.
Put it this way, back when they made the movie, they were trying to think of like what the most hideous, dumbest shoes they could feature in this movie that like, oh my God, no one would ever buy them. Flash forward, they are Crocs.
Yeah.
And so that's
got
just like a little
2 pairs of
preface.
them.
It's basically the evolution of time and the fact that like a smart, educated, high IQ person focused on career and all this stuff and ended up not procreating. And then they waited too long and then they didn't have any babies, all at the same time that Jim Bob, who lives in the middle of nowhere with the IQ of 4, has had sex with every person from here to Timbuktu and now has rapidly procreated. And eventually the entire world is now an idiot. Because the idiots kept procreating and the smart people were just focused on what was in front of them. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but it's an alarmingly close potential prediction that I don't think we want to come true. But it used to be funnier. Now it's a little close.
Getting close.
Yeah.
And then the final episode of our reality show,
Final.
Secret Service, just for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Where
Yeah, so I'm I didn't know any of this. You guys were the ones talking about this when I walked in here. I don't know any of this next episode, so you got to take this away.
Yeah, the head lady of the Secret Service, Kim Shattuck, is that how you say her name?
Cheadle.
Cheadle. She sat in front of Congress yesterday, and they fucking tore her apart.
What does that mean?
Like, I mean, went at her, trying to get any type of information, any answers from what happened, demanding that she resigns. Both sides of the aisle. Obviously, there was a major failure, a breakdown to let somebody who watches Dungeons and Dragons in his basement 130 yards close to the president, and they're trying to get answers. And so she had to sit under oath, and they all went at her. And then one lady was literally like, I have 5 minutes to talk to you. Do you want to take this 5 minutes to draft your resignation letter?
Oh,
She goes, no.
wait, they said that to the head of Secret Service?
Yeah, so the girl's going at her. The girl's like,
Oh, it was bad.
All right, I got to look at this. Better watch this.
I'll send you a clip. This
Yeah.
one lady was like, these are only yes and no questions going forward. She's like, okay. And then she starts drilling her. And the lady literally goes, you're so full of shit.
Yeah.
You're so full
Yeah.
of shit right now.
She said something. She answered some question. She goes, "That's bullshit."
Yeah.
And then it was wild, dude.
So, and the Secret Service lady who's sitting there will not answer anything, will not give the simplest answers. And it's been 9 days, and she will not say anything.
Why do
And
you
just
think that
saying,
is?
It's still under investigation. It's like, well,
Then why are you here talking to us?
exactly. So anyways, they had to subpoena her to get her there. And then today she finally resigned. She had so much pressure. Like, she was just gone.
One guy, because she used to work at Pepsi, who owns like Doritos and shit, and some guy, I guess he did like he lives in like Texas in the middle of nowhere, so he like staged the shooting and like got real mad about it. And he's like, I did 10 shots and 9 of them would have killed him, and the other one hit him in the ear. And he got super pissed, and he's like, go back to guarding Doritos, is what he said.
Of course, a man in Texas did that.
I mean, it was bad, dude. It was bad.
Yeah. So
But
she
I
was
don't,
taking
that
it.
whole little system they do, I just feel like that setting is very unproductive anyway, because everyone's up there trying to get slam dunk roast for Instagram and shit. Like
Exactly.
It's very unproductive. And then you get someone like that who's going to go there and she's going to say, oh, like they'd ask her a question. They'd ask her really simple stuff, dude.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what time did the first shots happen? Like
Right.
we know that.
Yeah.
Like it's on the TV when it happened. And
Sure.
she's like, oh,
Still under investigation.
it's still under investigation. Or I'd have to ask the FBI. They're the ones doing the
So
criminal
she didn't
investigation.
want to be there. She was subpoenaed to
No,
be
they
there.
made her. Apparently they asked her to go. She said no. And then they're
Yeah.
like, all right, we're going to subpoena you then. So then you have to go.
Like
Tough.
simple questions like, do you think that they should have been allowed within 130 yards? Or do you think Donald Trump should have been notified? And she's like, we're still under, like anything, like any common sense questions. Like, she would have gained so much more respect, at least for me, if she was just like, yeah.
Sure,
Like, she's
just be
like-
honest. That's
like,
what.
yeah,
Just tell us what happened.
Give us something, because now it just looks so fishy. And you have all these investigations, and again, we'll never know.
Yeah, because they were like, well, because she'd be like, she kept being like, oh, the FBI is doing the FBI, and they're like, all right, well, at the FBI do we need a subpoena to get
Sure,
here too?
yeah.
And
Well,
she's
then-
like, oh, I can't give out names, and they're like, all right.
Because I just feel like it's, protecting what's within their, I don't know. And even in that situation, my empathetic side is like, oh my gosh, that's just a human. Like we were talking about, that's so bad. But then the other side of me is just like, yeah, but you also chose this job.
Yeah, I mean, you knew what
So-
it was, and you signed up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't know this was gonna happen. Well, hopefully, you didn't know this was gonna happen.
No.
But it's like,
Oh, tough. She's having a tough day.
I would have been gone. 10 minutes after it happened, I would have set it all up and I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no coming back. Dude.
Yeah.
You're
I
done.
would have made an announcement. I fucked up. This is my responsibility. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And they were
that's
like,
an important job.
They were like, did you call President Trump after and apologize? And she was like, yeah. She was like, they're like, how long did you wait? And she's like, oh, I don't know the timeline. I don't know the timeline. I'm like, how long did you wait? And she's like, you're under oath. Was it 72 hours? And she's like, yeah, it was 72 hours. We're like, you waited 3 days.
yeah.
And then she just got ripped.
Like the
Damn.
last president that got shot, was it Reagan 40 years ago? Assassination attempt. He obviously survived, but that director of the Secret Service just resigned immediately.
Yeah. I would have been gone.
Truly,
No way.
the only job of the director of the Secret Service is to keep them safe, correctly, and they did not do that. So
But shout out to the guys on stage and the women who just, that's their job, is
Dove.
to be a human shield.
Yep.
With bullets still flying over your head. That's crazy.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
Gives me the chills.
Well, that's the
Not in a good
greatest
way.
reality show on TV right now.
Stay tuned for next week's episode. I'm sure we'll have something else come in the doors here.
Man, 50 minutes in.
We just talked 50 minutes about the state of our world,
Yeah.
just burning.
I guess we are a political show now after that.
I mean, but like I said, politics is directly affecting our lives.
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
I'm not claiming any sides right now. I don't know where I am. I'm in the middle and I'm very confused in a tornado.
I mean, yeah, you weren't here for that one. I sat with Tommy. She kind of like gave me a quiz, and I was like, yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff on the left, and I agree with a lot of stuff on
Yeah.
the right. But now I can, definitely say
My only goal though is to just not be, I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but just like not be an emotional voter. And because I know emotions are a part of it, and like naturally I feel some way, but I just want to make sure that I'm making like an educated decision,
for sure.
not just like, oh God, I want to make a decision, not a reaction.
right.
Well,
That's
that's
all I
what they
want
want you. They want you to make a reaction, which is why they say the craziest stuff about each other. It's not even true.
That's like the extra additives in the script here of this reality show. And I'm just like, that is truly my goal, is I want to make a decision, not a reaction.
Yeah.
So maybe emotional is the wrong word, but I'm a woman, so we have those.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right. It's getting tougher and tougher by day, but
Yeah.
we shall see.
We shall see. Stay tuned. Let's go lighthearted.
I would love to. I'm sweating.
Top final four favorite reality shows of all time. Not including this one.
Besides the one I'm living? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Number 4, here we go. SamCat's favorite reality shows ranked from 4 to 1.
Okay.
1 being the best.
My number 4
Yeah.
is a bit of nostalgia, because I do have to preface this with like, I don't really watch a lot of reality TV. I think it rots your brain.
Okay.
And I mean that. Not all, but just some. But I think that back in the day when I was in high school, I was obsessed with So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite show for
Ryan
an
Cabrera.
extended period of time.
Right?
What?
Ryan
Ryan
was a
Cabrera
singer.
was a singer.
Ryan,
Seacrest?
no.
No. What are you saying?
Okay, keep going. I'm gonna agree
Anyways,
with this.
so I appreciate it. First of all, I love to dance. I'm nowhere near good enough to ever be on a dancing reality show by any stretch of the imagination, but it just also has a level of nostalgia for me because it was just my favorite show in high school. My friends used to come over and we would watch, like binge watch it, back when you had to be on demand and DVR and TiVo to fast forward through the commercials type thing. But I feel like for years I was obsessed with that show.
Okay, that's a good one. There was a dance show on MTV. I swear this guy's name was Ryan. He was a backup dancer for Britney Spears. Surprised you don't remember it.
I don't know.
It was great.
I do know who Ryan Cabrera is, though.
Yeah, he had the spiky hair. Okay, that's your number 4. Number 4, I'm just going to get out of the way. I'm going to say The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Great show. Obviously, it's very successful. Not my favorite, but that's what I'm going to go with as my number 4.
You know what? You can respect where you came from and still not think it's the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic setup. It's a reason why it's been around for 30 plus years. And
Talk about a
millions of
social
dollars.
experiment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Number 3.
Okay, but number 3, also nostalgic, and I just feel like it was always on Sunday nights. So I feel like my family and I just like watched it, and it has led to my love for home renovations, like we talked about at the beginning,
Yeah.
but extreme home makeover.
Yeah.
When they would choose families that like needed whatever help, and then they would go in and build the house in like 7 hours. I still don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
You remember it was like they would send them on a vacation for 4 days and they'd come back with a completely new home.
It happened the town next to me. These kids that I played basketball against in Suffield, like a mile down the road.
What?
Yeah.
I would love to be on set for that show too, because the logistics do not add up in my head, and yet they did it every week. Like, were they lying about the timeline? Can you build a freaking house in 4 hours?
Can
Renovate it, yeah.
No, they would like, I mean, yeah, I guess a lot of them are renovations, but I just feel like they'd be scrambling and they're like, the family's going to be home in 30 minutes and like they don't have an island in the kitchen.
I know.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, this
It's TV,
timeline.
SamCat, yeah.
I'm like, this timeline.
Yeah.
And that's where
Okay.
my misjudgment of how handy I was, I guess, started.
I was a big A&E guy, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's still around.
HGTV.
Oh, HGTV.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got into a big phase with those as well. Great show. Number 3, I'm going to take a step further from The Bachelor, Bachelorette. I'm going Tila Tequila. That's a
Speaking
throwback.
of rotting your brain.
That
Oh my
was
gosh,
a dating
in the Rock
show.
of Love. Remember those were
Yeah.
like
yeah, but Tila Tequila had guys and
And girls,
girls.
yes.
In one house.
And-
And she was a bisexual.
yes. Well,
And they
that's how
were
guys and girls work. Yes, thank
vying
you for
for
explaining that to me.
love. Yeah.
I do remember that. That was damn.
Yeah.
That's when we were a proper country.
That's when things were going good in America. Yeah.
I forgot about Tila Tequila. That took me back.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay. My number 2 is The Challenge.
Yeah, those are always good. The old ones, though, not the new ones.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like back in the day when it was just like a bunch of mixture, like Road Rules, Real
Yeah, Real
World,
World.
whatever.
Yeah.
true challenge, because also I feel like I could have been on that show.
Yeah, I wanted to be on that show.
That would have been dope. You should.
Road
still,
Rules or
right
Real
now.
World. Yeah, the challenge. I could do that one.
I just feel like they were creative. It had like just the right amount of drama, but it was just like physical fights basically. But it was just like so impressive when the girl who weighed 100 pounds and like nobody bet on her somehow beat the guy. Like I love the drama of that. It was organic. I feel like it wasn't scripted. I feel like that was real.
Yeah.
Like you can't, I mean,
Yeah.
you can
Those
script
emotions
anything.
were running high with those guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows what they're doing off camera in order to be pumped to beat their opponent in like a sand pit that's on fire while they have a tire around their neck and you're like, what?
I would love to do that.
And I would love to come up with a challenge.
Yeah.
Like something that would be implemented into the show, like, oh, let's see if you can do this. Because those people are also creative. Props to those writers.
Very creative.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that kicked off reality TV, the real world.
And then you would just be able to go back to your house with your friends and just like drink and swim and hang out and have the best time. And then tomorrow you wake up and have to like do another competition. Sign me up.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
Not a bad. And they make a lot of money off that.
And they all fall in love. It's just a whole big thing. Number 2 I had only because I'm watching it right now, Alone. Have you seen that?
No idea what that is.
Alone is great.
What is it?
You get dropped off. There's 10 people, and they go
Dropped
into
off where?
Exactly. In the absolute middle of nowhere, in the woods. You get dropped off on a helicopter, on a boat, and you have 10 items that you can bring with you.
I'd be dead in the first 30 seconds.
Okay, so you wouldn't win. And the last man or woman standing wins $500,000.
Okay.
But they don't know who's dropping. So
it's the Hunger Games.
basically, without having to kill people, but they have to hunt, obviously. And the winner is usually there 70, 80 days. And so you just go.
Days? I thought you were going to
Days.
say hours.
No.
70 hours. I'm like, all right, I could do 70
you go
hours.
there, you build a cabin with, again, you can only bring 10 items, and then you have to fend for yourself. And they have all the camera equipment set up, and you record yourself. So you don't have any interaction with any humans. And you have a walkie or like a phone in case there's an emergency, or if you want to tap out, you call it, and then you say, I'm done, and they pick you up. And then you just go as long as you possibly can.
How long do you think you'd actually last? Realistically, don't give me this bullshit.
I would probably right now last maybe a week. A few days.
Week?
A few days. I don't know. I eat a lot. That's the thing. That's how all these people, they'll gain like 70, 80 pounds. They'll be
then lose it
overweight
all.
and
Yeah.
they just lose it because they are dependent on what they catch. They'll go days without getting stuff.
Right.
They're always next to water, so they always have to try and make their own fishing rods. They'll like set up, they'll make little nets. They all bring a bow and arrow. You get a certain amount of arrows. So
I was going to
like,
say, do you choose the 10 items you
Yeah,
get, or
you
they
choose.
give you 10 items?
you choose. But by now it's been around for many seasons, so they all know the best
gotten
items
smarter.
to bring: a tarp, fire starter, bow and arrow, axe. Yeah.
I give you 4 days.
Yeah.
1 full day of like adrenaline.
I just want to be able to kill anything. I'd be able to kill fish, but if I saw animals out there,
You would be able to if that was how you were going to live.
Yeah.
Them or you, baby.
like one guy, one season I watched, he killed, maybe it was a moose, and dude won. He took all the meat, and then he built his own little smokehouse, and he just had all this meat.
He was like, I'm actually on vacation. Are you guys?
Yeah.
I'm getting paid for
Yeah.
this. Did I win?
Most people go completely crazy
Yeah.
because
Being
they
alone.
all have families, and they all like, you can't talk to anybody. So you're talking about months of just,
And also, do they know if you're alive? Like, I would hope that the producers check in and they're like, hey, your husband's still okay. He's just had
Yeah.
he made a meat house out here, so he's going to win.
Yeah.
But like, do they get to check in? Not the contestant, but the families, I would hope.
yeah,
would know.
families probably check in with the production company. But also, like, some people will end up having to leave because they're like, there's been people who like cut themselves.
Oh,
Or there's been people who,
yeah, you don't want to get an infection and die.
yeah, you eat like something wrong and they're throwing up and shitting themselves all night, and they're like, I'm going to die of dehydration. I have to get off this island. And it's just, you just go into, and it's
fun
also
time.
gets to the winter time. So you're
yeah, no,
completely
I'm out.
freezing. It's wild. No. It's cool though. Like the winter, they always have like the last couple weeks, they'll send out like once every few days, doctors to check these people. And some people, they're like, you got to go because you're going to die because your body is literally starting to eat itself and eat its organs for food. So They'll check.
Well, at least they do that.
Yeah, they check on them, but like the winner always they always do like little interviews too, the producer.
Yeah.
And they'll have like the wife or something walk up behind the winner. Like they'll just turn around and their wife's standing there. It's like, you won.
Sad.
Yeah.
But like good sad.
Great. Yeah. That's my number 2.
Damn, that's your number 2. I can't even imagine what your number 1 is. I feel like yours is really serious. And now my number 1 is mostly a joke, but also just holds a special place in my heart is Pimp My Ride.
Wow.
Because Exhibit used to just like find a single mom of 4 children and she'd be like, you know what, I really enjoy popcorn once every, 3 months when I watch movies with my kids.
Let me build a
and then
popcorn
he'd be like,
machine.
okay, let's see what we did here was we put a personalized popcorn maker in your trunk. And she's like, this girl has 4 kids and you put a popcorn maker in her
It
trunk.
was so stupid, but so good.
Yes, but it was so entertaining
Yeah.
because you're just like, what are they going to come up with
Yeah.
now? You probably don't even know what I'm talking about
No,
because that
he
was in the
doesn't.
early 2000s. And I think that show's been gone since like 2007, 8, a while.
I mean, but once you turn it on, you couldn't turn it off because it was so interesting.
It was so bad that it was good. Basically, people would have shitty cars and like their friends or themselves would nominate them to Pimp My Ride for like a car makeover. And at no point was anything ever like within the scope of being usable. It was like they'd come out and be like neon lights and like the trunk would open and steam would come out, but like nothing would be helpful for the actual vehicle that you're driving. And I just feel like that was pure entertainment.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good time.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Whatever happened
my
to
number
Exhibit.
I don't know. Where is he?
He might need his ride pimp now.
I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
My number 1, I had the first 48. That's
a good one.
That's a good one.
That's an A&E
I used to
show.
watch a lot of that. Yeah, that's A&E. Back in high school, that was there's a murder. It was always like Detroit.
Yeah.
Live, following around the homicide unit, and they were supposed to find the murderer within the first 48, or you have 48 hours to have the best chance of finding who killed somebody.
Sure.
Anything after 48 hours.
Or
gets
isn't it
extremely
like
hard.
missing people too?
Yeah.
Like you have the best chance to find them in the first 48. If you don't find them in 48, it's like, well, we don't
Yeah.
know if we're ever going to find them.
Yeah. So that's, I was like, ooh, maybe I want to be like an investigator.
Not everybody is Liam Neeson though.
No.
So
that's very true.
there's that.
There is that. Pimp My Ride. Here we go. We are back.
I'm going to go home and watch more episodes of it. That's also your homework.
I'll do it.
He's
Yeah.
like, yo, we'll do it. Turn off the reality TV show we're living in and put on that one just to feel a little sense of calm.
Exactly. That's all we're here for. Give you a little sense of calm.
Yes, let's keep it lighthearted.
Let's
as
keep
best as we can.
life lighthearted.
Because if we don't have each other, what do we have?
What do we have, SamCat, if we
A
don't have each
lot
other?
of riffraff. Not good shit.
Not good shit. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Will we?
We're going to try.
Okay.
We're going to try. We're going to keep this thing going. Life's been busy, but we're going to try. You're home for how long?
I'm home. I'm on the back 9 for the year. I have a few weeks here and there that I'm a little busy, but for the most part, I'm chilling, cruising in. You're the one that's been MIA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally,
All right.
someone DM'd me. They're like, "Where's Shawn?" I was like, "Bro, I don't know. Like, if you've seen him, let me know. I don't know." And you're like, "Sorry, I've been a little busy." I'm like, "It's been 4 weeks."
Yeah.
The only reason I knew you were still alive was quite literally Instagram and Dre.
Still alive.
Yeah, you have color in your face and everything. So obviously you've been having a good time.
A full beard too.
Okay.
It's gray.
Yeah, I see that. That's good though. You don't like that?
No, I like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say don't shave it off just because it's gray. Don't
No,
be
no,
that.
I love it. I'm gonna let it
beta
go
of a man.
gray.
Okay.
That's just crazy that happened in 1 year.
Well, what has changed in the last year for you, Shawn? Anything?
Life happens, and then you go gray.
Put that on a t-shirt. And with that note,
Team on 3.
1, 2, 3.